All right, guys. Welcome back to the channel. Just wanted to do an update. I had some time this morning, so I just wanted to do an update as to what has been happening with NAS100 based on my trades and based on my bias. And just to reinforce the strategy, higher lows to higher highs, and the importance of waiting. So before we begin, let's just pray. God, thank you again for this opportunity to trade and this opportunity to just analyze and to just discuss new ideas. Pray for anyone watching this video. May it be instrumental and helpful to them in their trading journey as we proceed together. Thank you, and we praise you, and we love you. Amen. All right, guys. So no um no secret, I am 100% bullish on the NASDAQ 100. I've always been, will continue to be 100% bullish. What that means is I basically trade from my higher lows to my higher highs. Okay. um Higher lows for the entry, higher highs for the exit. Okay. And the NASDAQ 100 has been doing that you know ever since, excuse me, its inception. Now, I just wanted to bring up a chart that I posted at the end of 2024. So just bear with me a second while I just look for it. A chart that I posted in 2024, the end of 2024, showing you all my levels. Let's see if I can find it here. See, going all the way back. It's October 2024, November 2. Let's see, November 2, November 16. It's probably about maybe December 14 or 15, 16. 16 that I'm looking for. 1 second. Now, just so you know, I do my charts every single week. Every single week, I do my charts. I do new analysis and I do my charts. Now, this chart that I'm showing you is the chart that I posted with my levels for 2025. Let me see if I have them here. Let's see. My daily chart. Yep, here we go. Okay, so back in December of 2024, I posted a level with all my TP levels. Now, you can always search the mines. Now, as you know, I've been blocked from TradingView, the comment section, the social media section, which is fine. It's the best thing that really ever happened because, like I said, it doesn't make sense to spend your days arguing with stupidity. Okay. Um, Go back and check my post. You'll see I posted 5 levels here for 2025. These are my expected levels for 2025. Look at where the price is currently. Price right now is just below TP5. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, all those TPs have been taken out already for 2025. Now, let me just switch back to my chart. I just wanted to pull that up to show you guys just for reference. All right. So let me pull my chart back up for this week that we're currently working on, which is version 48. Okay. So this is where we are now for this week. Now, as you will see, and I tell you all the time, every single time the NASDAQ 100 makes a sell, it is only a temporary retracement to form another higher low. Every single time, never fails. Okay. Now, when you go, and I'm going to bring up a cleaner chart. Let me use my worksheet so you can actually see it. On my worksheet, you'll notice every single week I go and I do my analysis, and you can check videos on YouTube that I have, which show you how I actually do my analysis, draw my support and resistance lines, and also draw my session lines. So I'm able to actually analyze the chart on on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. Okay. So this is the chart that I analyzed for this week. Um, this is on the 4-hour time frame. Now, if I go down to a time frame like the 1-hour time frame, what you will notice is that over the past 4 weeks, the market has been making higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. Now, you had this week, which was 2 weeks ago, where the market had this big drop. And of course, as usual, everybody who wants to be bearish in a bullish market got all excited. Oh, yes, it's going to be in free fall. No, it's not. It's only creating a higher low on the larger time frame. Okay. So if you'll notice, I'll mark this here and you will be able to see it. Let me use this circle and I'm going to mark this point right here. Let's use this color so you can see it. Okay. This point here, which was the Friday of August 1st, okay? This is on the 1-hour time frame, this big drop that everybody was getting excited about. This is now going to be, a higher low on a larger time frame. So let's say, for example, we go up to the 4-hour time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, that's still a low. But when I go to a bigger time frame, like for example, the daily, you'll notice that on the daily, that point that I marked right there, that is only a higher low. And look at what the market did. As soon as it completed that higher low, it went and it completed another higher high. So that actually confirms what I've been saying all this time. The market is making higher lows to higher highs. Now, the question is, how do you trade? How do you trade a market that is consistently making higher lows to higher highs? Well, it's simple. Whenever the market is selling, you wait. Okay. So I remember a couple months ago when I used to be on Trading View Minds, somebody was laughing and saying, oh, where were you when the market was doing that big sell at the beginning of the year? Like, duh, if the market is selling and I'm buying, then guess what? I'm not trading. So what that means is that I take my profit at my higher highs, wait for a higher low, I enter a trade here, and then I trade back to my higher high. That is how you trade the trend. Okay. So when you have a situation like we had here back in February of this year, going all the way down to, I believe it was April, right? You're not buying. All you're doing here is that on your lower time frames, you are actually buying the higher lows. So even when you have a dip like we had here, okay? And let me just bring this over so you'll be able to see it. Even when you have a dip right there, you still have the market making higher lows on the larger time frames. If you focus only on your small time frames, like the 1 hour and below and everything, you are going to be seeing lower highs, lower lows when the market is in retracement. Okay. When the market is in retracement, okay, you have to understand it is important that you're now focusing on your larger time frames. So in this section right here, I'll take a tool and I'll mark it so you can see it. So in this section right here, all right, let's choose this section. Okay. In that section right here, if you look at a larger time frame, let's say your 15-hour, you'll notice that I still have a low right here. Okay. And I can buy from this low and I go here. Now, although the market is going down, okay, you're not going against the trend because this is only a retracement. So this is temporary. So you take your higher lows and you buy. If it makes a lower high, then you take your profits and you wait again. So you go to a bigger time frame, let's say the 23-hour. Right? Here you go. You have a low again. Okay, you can buy from a low and then you can continuously go towards your higher high point. The other thing is when you look at your your daily time frame, you will notice that the same thing happens again. You're moving from your low and you're going up to your lower highs. Okay. So again, in this session, basically what you have to do is when the market is retracing, you're waiting. So you're not going against the trend by trying to sell. If you take the trend, if you take the sell, that's all well and good. But just so you know, this is going to be only temporary, as we saw here. So if I, zoom out here, you'll notice this sell came here. This is where it ended, right at this point. Ended right at this point. We mark it. We go up to your larger time frame. Let's say, for example, on your monthly. Okay. That point right here was only a higher low. And that's the point that I'm making. So you made a higher low right here, and notice what the market did. It bought and it came straight up and it made another higher high. So that confirms the point that I've always been saying all these months and years and everything. Any sell that the market makes, it's only a temporary retracement to create another higher low. All right. So fast forward to today. Okay. What is happening in the market today? So, well, here. You go back, you're on a time frame like the 1 hour. You'll notice that the market actually did it's buying. It's been buying now for the past number of weeks. Now, on this particular day, yes, the market has bought. It's not an overbought. It's not an overbought point. Have all-time highs, new all-time highs that have been made consistently for the past number of days. Okay, so it is natural at this point in time for the market to retrace. Okay, now if you do not have a solid strategy for trading retracements, now is not the time for you to try and sell and to go against the master trend. Now is the time for you to take your profits and wait. Okay, either you're going to be holding your trades long term. So for example, if you went in on one of the lows, let's say you came in on this low, you could have actually held this trade for 2 weeks and still be in profit. Okay, so the important thing is that once you take your lows and you continue to your higher highs, you just simply wait for the market to do its thing. No rush. Absolutely no rush. All right. So what am I expecting for today? Now, I already took profit on this trade and I'm waiting for the sell to actually be completed so I can get another entry on a higher low to actually continue with the trend of higher lows to higher highs. So I'm going to switch back to my regular chart, which is the one, that I use every day, and it has all my latest markings. Now, what you will notice here is I have some ZOIs, which is my zone of interest. Okay. I still think it's possible for price to actually come back within this zone right here for a retest. I think it's possible. Now, am I trading to go all the way down here and trading for a sell? No, even if I take a sell, I'm mindful of the fact that it's only going to be temporary. So I will not get trapped like the regular bears who just say, oh, the market is going to be in free fall. I saw one guy post, oh, he's now taking a sell and he's going to be holding it for another 2 months, 3 months, whatever. That's the biggest load of garbage that anybody can feed you. You take your sells and understand that they're retracements and they're temporary. And once they make the higher lows, then they will continue towards your master trend, which is higher lows to higher highs. Look at this week. On Monday, we had the first higher low of the week. Market has been buying ever since up until this point. I see people also in the chats mentioning, oh my God, I don't understand. This market is stupid. Why does it keep buying? Yes, it keeps buying because it is the master trend. And that's what the master trend does. It's higher low to higher highs, which means you enter on your higher low, you exit on your higher high. Enter on your higher low, exit on your higher high. So if you're in the market and you realize that you came in on a buy on a higher low and the market made a higher high, well, guess what? Don't be greedy. Take your profit and wait for another higher low. That's all you have to do. It's very simple. Very, very simple. And if you look at any time frame, you know, from the hour up, you'll see the same principle being played out. Now, the important thing and what you guys should be doing is to look at the markets, understand what times of the day, during what sessions, certain things occur. Now, I'm not going to be telling you all of this because all of this information that I have gained over, you know, the years and stuff like that by analyzing, I'm just not just going to give it away to anybody. I already told you the market is making higher lows, higher highs. And guess what? That's the easiest way to trade the NAS100. Now, what you have to do now is that you now have to take that information and do further analysis to see what times of the day the market actually does this. And once you can find that out, then everything becomes easier for you. All right. So one other thing before I leave, I did mention this in previous videos. You will notice that on the NASDAQ 100, the seasonals chart, I like to use the seasonals chart. Now, you will notice here that I mentioned to you on one of the videos, anytime that you see the NASDAQ 100, this line right here is your 0% line. Every single year, this is where the NASDAQ starts, okay? Anytime you see price breaking below this line, okay, and you see a situation where it breaks above the line, it usually continues towards the end of the year, okay? Usually, that's what I've observed. This year was no exception. Notice it came down, it broke below the line, stayed down here for a while. This was when everybody thought the market was going to be in free fall. And notice it slowly came up, it broke above the line, consolidated on it for a little bit, and now it is slowly doing what it normally does, which is going towards the higher highs and just continuing on that trajectory. So I just wanted to highlight that point so you can actually see it. That supports the theory that the market is actually going to be continuously bullish for the remaining portion of the year. All right. One last thing before I go. I'm expecting that this market will do some amount of selling today because it has to retrace. It just completed a series of all-time highs. It's trading at higher highs. It has never been at this level in history, okay? So it's natural for the market to actually retrace. Do I expect a big retracement? Do I expect a deep retracement? Really doesn't matter to me. What I'm really observing is I'm looking at my time frames to see which is my largest higher low so that I can be able to take the next trade to move to another higher high. All right. That's all that it is. I'm not trading for the sell. So I'm not trading for lower highs, lower lows, because the market is not making that. I'm trading for higher lows to higher highs, which means every time the market makes a higher high, okay, I take my profit and then I wait for another higher low. Or if you're skilled and you understand perfectly what the market does, you can sell towards a higher low. However, you must remember that this is not going to be a permanent sell. It is only going to be temporary. All right. So that is pretty much it for today. Today, I would not advise anybody to try and enter buys at this level. Okay, it's ridiculous. You're at higher highs. If you look at your largest time frame, if you look at your monthly, you'll see that it's currently at a higher high point. I would not advise anybody to enter a sell at the higher high. You want to wait for your higher lows to be able to get in for your buys. Now, if you're skilled and you understand what the market is doing, great sell opportunities do exist. However, remember, they're only temporary retracements to create the next higher low. So with that being said, what is my next move? I'm currently waiting for my next higher low. Whether it comes here or below, it doesn't matter. It's going to be a higher low on my larger time frame. So that's basically what I'm doing right now. Everything else remains the same. I still stand by my strategy, and I'll always say higher lows to higher highs are always guaranteed on the NASDAQ 100. It has been doing it since inception. It's not about to change. Higher lows to higher highs are always guaranteed as long as you take your trades, your buys from your largest higher low and exit on your higher high. Then you wait for another setup before you buy again. So thank you again for watching, guys. Stay safe. Like I said, don't be expecting to see me on Trading Views. I've been banned permanently. But you know, it's interesting to watch the clowns like Mufasa and all the others who say, oh yeah, I'm taking a sell right here and everything like that. And if you look at it, just look at their posts. Every time when they've taken a sell, the market has broken above that level and they keep adjusting. Oh, I'm selling here and I'm selling here. And I told you about this level. Guys, it is nothing to say that the market is going to sell because it has to sell to create another higher low. It has to. However, the only thing that's guaranteed on the NASDAQ 100 is that every single high that has been created on the NASDAQ 100 will be broken. Every single high. Not the same with the lows because it's making higher lows to higher highs. Thank you again for watching, guys. God, thank you again for this privilege. We ask that you will just be with us. Bless our trading. Thank you for all who this video has helped. May their trading experience improve. May we all succeed together. Thank you. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, guys, take care. I'll see you again. Bye-bye.